The third thing that's happened is what we're calling the Great Resignation, which is all of these people leaving their jobs. Now, I think why this is happening is because the pandemic has provoked a moment of introspection. People have had time to sit and think and go, what do I want? What makes me fulfilled? And what makes me happy? What do I care about? And they're realizing that they want to work for employers that care about them as people and that don't just care about making money. They want to work places where they can bring their full selves to work, where they feel as if they can be authentic, where they feel as if they're given opportunities for career advancement, promotions, raises, recognition. And when they're not getting that, they leave. Some of the other aspects that have caused people to leave during the Great Resignation are unethical behavior by employers, a lack of diversity and inclusion. We can see how this is not just a nice to have, it's a must have. It causes employee turnover. And feeling disrespected. With women in technology, some of the reasons that women in tech are leaving are lack of support from management, so not really feeling as if higher ups have their back, a lack of advancement. So they're not advancing, they're not getting promoted, which is in accordance with what's called the broken rung theory, which talks about how women break off when they're being promoted from entry level to manager. And that's the first break where women aren't promoted that really hurts women from getting even higher up into senior leadership positions. So they're not given advancement opportunities and a lack of work-life balance. People are feeling burned out. There's a lack of separation between work and home life because you're on all the time. You're always on your computer, you're always on your phone. There's not this separation of, okay, I'm leaving work for the day, it's time to go home. And I think employers have also gotten used to people responding to things at all hours of the day and wacky hours of the day. And then you pair that with having time zones that are all over the place and global workforces. People are on at all hours of the day. And so there's this burnout that's happening and this lack of work-life balance that's happening that is also really, really hurting people and making them want a healthier version of life. We also see depression, suicide, mental health. We're in a mental health care crisis. People are depressed and anxious. There's been a massive rise in suicide among teen girls, which is linked to social media. There's also suicide linked to isolation. We're in a midst of a mental health crisis. And then, of course, the unpaid care burden that women have to face. Women end up taking on care of children and the elderly. And the reason it's called unpaid care work is because it's not viewed as work, because the way of looking at things from the patriarchal viewpoint is that women should want to do that. It's their natural proclivity to take care of their elderly parents, to take care of the children, and therefore it's not work. Well, I look at parents and I think, wow, that's a lot of work. So doing that along with having a full-time job and then having nursery schools closed on and off because of COVID and daycare closed on and off because of COVID, the majority of caretaking does fall on women. It was shown that 80% of working mothers took the lead on remote learning versus 31% of working fathers. So 81% of working mothers versus 31% of working fathers, which is why a friend of mine says that she became the world's worst first grade teacher during the pandemic. So all of these things happening that are causing the Great Resignation and people saying, I'm fed up. I want a different life. I want to do something different. I want to be more fulfilled. I want to have social purpose. That's one of the things we're seeing behind the Great Resignation.